Hey everybody, and welcome to the Season 5 finale of Club Penguin 101. You guys have made this season truly spectacular. Thank you for all your support. Not only is this the Season 5 finale, but it is also the last episode of Club Penguin 101. Looking back, it amazes me that we've gotten this far, 81 episodes, and I can only credit that to you guys. If it weren't for you, the show probably would have ended a lot sooner. So, let's end CP 101 with a bang. Today we'll be finishing the Club Penguin Yearbook series by looking at the years 2014, 2015, and 2016. So, let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Like every other single year, except 2005, the year began with the New Year's Day celebration. It started on January 1st and went until January 2nd. Fireworks could be seen at the snow forts. The first real party of the year was the Prehistoric Party. It began on January 23rd and was first confirmed by a tweet from Polo Field. Like last year, players were able to go back in time by using Gary's time tracker. The reason for this was because Gary found a message at the snow forts. He believed it to be from his ancestor, Garug the Ugug. Everything was identical to the last Prehistoric Party, except for the new addition of the dinosaur puffles. Along with the new puffles, penguins could also get the primal helmet and the dino claws, among others. The party eventually came to a close on February 6th. The next party was, surprisingly, the fair. Instead of being celebrated in the fall, it started on February 20th. It was pretty different from the other fairs. For one, there were double the amount of items compared to the other fairs. Some of them included the carnival party hat, the pixel shades, the pork pie hat, and the blue wheeler. Not only were there way more items, there was also a different theme to the party, which is mostly seen in the decorations. The party came to a close a couple of weeks later on March 6th. What came next was the first mini party celebrated on Club Penguin, and that was the Russian Welcome event. As you can probably tell from the name, all it was a celebration of the newly added Russian language to the game. The only room decorated was the ice rink, and there's only one item being given out, the welcome hat. The party began on March 6th and went until March 13th. After that mini party came the first takeover of the year, and that was the Muppets World Tour. It was based on the movie Muppets Most Wanted and started on March 20th. The story was very simple, as expected. The Muppets were visiting Club Penguin, so Cadence planned on bringing some of their world over to Club Penguin Island. Penguins could perform in a show with the many different characters and travel the globe. There were a lot of items being given out. Some of them included the alpine hat, the turban, the cream pie, and the pink microphone. The party eventually ended on April 1st. The Puffle Party followed the Muppets Party a couple of weeks later. It brought many new things to the island. One of the things were the two new Puffles. They were the Dog Puffle and the Cat Puffle. A new room was also added to the island, and that was the Puffle Park. There were some new items as well. They included the lavender bunny ears, the blue border collie headband, the orange tabby headband, and the squeaky ball. Not only were there new puffles, rooms, and items, the decorations for the party were also completely different than past Puffle parties. The party started on April 17th and went until May 1st. A mini party followed the big Puffle party, and that was the Funny Hat Week celebration. It was the second mini party of the year, the first being the Russian Welcome event. It was first announced in the Club Penguin Times and began on May 1st. There were 5 hats that players could collect. They included the Sleepyhead, the Mullet, the Plunge, the Donut Conqueror, and the Salami Sun Hat. The only room decorated at the event was the dock. It came to a close exactly 1 week later on May 7th. Next came the Future Party. It started on May 22nd and lasted until June 4th. In the party, penguins could travel to the year 4014 and defeat the Protobot. At the party, penguins could collect the Space Cadet jetpack, the Protobot helmet, and the Protobot costume. Besides the new items and rooms, there really wasn't much to the party. Soon following the Future Party came the Penguin Prom. It was the third mini party of the year and started on June 12th. Here, penguins could get the graduation hat and the school dance background. The only rooms decorated were the mine shack, the school, and the stadium. The event ended on June 18th, just short of 1 week. Next came one of my personal favorite parties, the Penguin Cup. It was a soccer-themed party to celebrate the 2014 FIFA World Cup. It began on June 19th and went until the 1st of July. At the party, penguins could choose one of 4 teams: Sharks, Hot Sauce, Space Squids, or Fluffies. You would then play a mini-game to earn points for your team. At the party, players could collect the Sharks Vuvuzela, the Hot Sauce Vuvuzela, the Space Squids Vuvuzela, and the Fluffies Vuvuzela. After the Penguin Cup came a party not well received by penguins at all. You know what I'm talking about, the 2014 Music Jam. Instead of seeing decorations all over the island, the only decorated area was the new cruise ship. All activity happened there, whether it be performances of Cadence and the Penguin Band or Club Penguin meetups. While the name of the party doesn't suggest it, the event was actually a sponsored party. Along with Cadence and the Penguin Band, Violetta, Cole Plante, Sabrina Carpenter, and Zendaya all made appearances. Some of the items that Penguins could collect included the miner's helmet, the music crew's pass, the glitter microphone, and the beat dropper hat. The party began on July 17th and closed out the month, ending on the 31st. Another mini party followed the not-so-great music jam, and that's the Turbo Race 3000. Here, Penguins could collect the go-karter helmet and the go-karter suit. The only room decorated was the stadium, in which there was a racetrack for players to race each other on. The event began on July 31st and went until August 7th. Despite the hot summer weather, the Frozen Party took over Club Penguin Island. The party was first teased by Spike Hike and a Spike Saturday meetup as a joke, but was eventually confirmed to be official. A sneak peek of the party was also seen in the Club Penguin music video, Best Day Ever. Most of the items at the party were collected by finding 3 snowflakes in a room. Some of these included the Arendelle banner, the personal flurry, and the summer punch. The party began on August 21st and went until September 3rd. Next came the school and skate party. At the party, Penguins had to help Rookie clean up the big mess he caused while he was putting the party together. By doing this, they could collect several items. Some of them included the paintbrush, the lab goggles, the undodgeable, and the brain freeze. One of the big additions to the party, though, was the new room, which was the skate park. During the event, Club Penguin helped build 7 schools in Ecuador, India, and Haiti. The party started on September 18th and went until the 1st of October. After the school and skate party was over, it was 3 weeks until the next party was celebrated. But on October 23rd, the Halloween party began. Unlike previous Halloween parties, there is quite a story at this one. A week before the party, Puffles began to feel agitated, and the first 3 floors of the Puffle Hotel appeared to be haunted. Gary Wald VII then goes to the hotel to investigate. One night, though, the Puffle Hotel suddenly shot up 13 floors. Rumors of ghost Puffles haunting the hotel began to circulate around the island. Gary Wald was also reportedly missing. It was then up to Penguins to investigate the hotel and see what was up. They did this with the help of Skip, the bellhop. After searching all 13 floors, Penguins would find Gary Wald and learn that Skip was actually an evil ghost who was behind all of the hauntings. However, he is defeated by the Penguins, who are then able to adopt a ghost Puffle. Many of the decorations from the last Halloween party made a return, but there were a bunch of new items. They included the ghostly suitcase, the shadow wings, the magic hat, and the bellhop hat. The party ended a couple of weeks later on November 5th. As players have been accustomed to, the 9th anniversary party was celebrated alongside the Halloween party. The 2 parties actually began on the same day as each other. However, it didn't last as long as the Halloween party, ending on the 30th. As expected, the only room decorated was the coffee shop, and the only item being given out was the 9th year anniversary hat. Once those 2 parties were over, Rockhopper returned to the island with the pirate party. But it wasn't just Rockhopper who came to the island. A group of crabs who had been living at the Swashbuckler trading post boarded the Migrator and eventually took over the whole ship. It eventually crashed onto the shores of Club Penguin. The crabs on the ship then began taking Rockhopper's treasure and burying it. Penguins had to help Rockhopper defeat the crabs before all of his treasure was gone. Players fought the crabs in a rock-paper-scissors-like battle. Some of the items available included the deserted island slingshot, the golden pirate hat, the pirate flag, and the scallywag. The party began on November 20th and lasted a couple of weeks, ending on December 3rd. Instead of the usual holiday party celebrated every December, Club Penguin did something different. It all began at the Merry Walrus Parade. The Merry Walrus was a new Club Penguin mascot who acted much like Santa Claus. At this mini-event, penguins could ride on the Merry Walrus float, which is the only thing they could do here. It wasn't much, but it helped introduce penguins to the new Merry Walrus concept and celebration. Along with the Merry Walrus Party that was coming later in December, there was a new Club Penguin short called We Wish You a Merry Walrus. I've actually done a whole episode of Club Penguin 101 on this topic with my friend Artistelman. You can click here to watch it. The mini party began on December 4th and went until the 30th. A few weeks later, and the brand new Merry Walrus Party began. Here, penguins could finally meet Merry Walrus. Besides the new mascot and name of the party, it looked and felt very similar to the holiday parties. For one, the decorations weren't that different. Rockhopper and Coins for Change both returned like usual as well. Players could collect items by completing different tasks. Some of the items included the first Merry Walrus hat, the blue holiday cap, the festive fluffy, and the big bell. One of the biggest inclusions of the party, though, was the new Puffle. It was the blue crystal Puffle, and like the We Wish You a Merry Walrus short, I've also done a full-length episode of CP101 on it. You can click here to watch it. The party began on December 18th and closed out the year, ending on December 30th. Wow! When you go through it, 2014 was packed with parties, even if some of them were just mini-events. However, many of these parties were lackluster, and when you compare 2014 to the other years in Club Penguin's history, it was probably the worst at that point. 2015 would be the game's 10th year, so the CP team would have to make it pretty good. But did they? Well, let's find out. As with every year, the fireworks could be seen at the ski hill and iceberg at the New Year's Day celebration. It began during the previous year on December 30th and went until January 14th, making it the longest New Year's Day party ever. After that mini celebration was over, the island transformed into a galaxy very far away. The Star Wars Rebels party hit Club Penguin on January 22nd and went until February 4th. It was based on the Disney XD animated show with the same name. The story was pretty basic. The Empire comes to the island once again, trying to take it over. By doing several tasks, penguins are able to defeat the Empire. Some of the items available included Ezra's slingshot, the Rebels flag, the Hydra spanner, and the blue lightsaber. A smaller party followed the Star Wars Rebels celebration, and that was the Sound Studio party. It had elements from the Music Jam parties and the Hollywood party mixed in. As the name suggests, the party celebrated the release of the new Sound Studio app. At the event, penguins could collect the glow bracelets, the rhinestone sunglasses, the rocker chick, and the punk hawk. The party began on February 19th and ended on March 4th. The first mini party of the year was Pi Day. It started on March 11th and was first confirmed in the Club Penguin Times. The only room that was decorated was the Mine Shack, and the only items that you could get were Rookie's background and Gary's background. The celebration came to a close on March 18th. Next came the Puffle Party. The main attraction here was exploring the wilds and finding the new puffle species. There were many new types, such as the raccoon puffle or the deer puffle. Penguins could also meet the mysterious Sasquatch. The ski lodge also got a new design. Several items were being given out. Some included the green raccoon hat, the red deer hoodie, the white rabbit hat, and the yellow unicorn hoodie. The party began on March 26th and went until April 9th. The Cave Maze event soon followed the Puffle Party. It started on April 15th, and at the event, players could explore the underground maze. Penguins could only get 2 items, the miner's helmet, and by completing the maze, they could get the pickaxe. The event came to a close 1 week later on April 22nd. After the Cave Maze came something that wasn't really a party or event at all, and that was Haiku Day. There were no decorations and no items. The only decoration you could say was that Sensei made appearances on the island. By meeting him, you could get his giveaway. The event began on April 17th and went until April 20th. The next real party was the Frozen Fever Party. It started on April 22nd and was based on the 7-minute short Frozen Fever. At the event, players could collect the spring bun, Anna's birthday dress, the clock tower pin, and the bracelet pin, to name a few. Most of the decorations at that party were the same from the previous Frozen party. The Snowman Puffle also returned. The party came to a close on May 6th, or May 20th if you're playing on the Club Penguin app. The fair followed the Frozen Fever party. It began on May 20th and was the 8th fair party to be celebrated. The mini-games and the amusement park returned from last year, but there were a few new rooms this time around. Some of the items that players could collect by earning enough tickets included the Gamma Gal, the Shadow Guy, the Ancient Green Dragon, and the Red Pixel Glasses. The party was originally going to end on June 3rd, but due to popular demand and some login issues players had, it's extended to June 10th. The next 2 parties were only available on the Club Penguin app. The first of these was the Rainbow Puffle Party. Here, players could adopt a Rainbow Puffle, even if they weren't a member. Unlike the Rainbow Puffle, penguins could collect the Rainbow Cap, the Rainbow Car, the Rainbow Toque, and the Rainbow Smirk hoodie. One reason why this party was only on the mobile version of Club Penguin was because the fair was too hard to replicate on the app, so the team gave mobile players this instead. It began on May 21st and went until June 17th. The next mobile exclusive party wasn't much of a party at all, and that was the Royalty Week, which started on June 24th. The only way you could tell that this event was going on was by logging on. A pop-up would appear, and you could collect some free items. And that was it. There were no decorations, no mascots, nothing. The event lasted much longer than a week, unlike the name says, ending on July 14th. The Festival of Snow swept across the island beginning on June 30th. It wasn't so much a party, but more of an event. The only decorations were snow sculptures based on drawings made by players. 2 items were being given out at the time, the Ice Crown and the Snowflake t-shirt. The celebration ended on July 8th. After being takeover free for a couple months, one is sure to follow, and that's exactly what happened on July 22nd with the Inside Out takeover. The storyline was as simple as could be. After eating some cursed cheese, Rockhopper starts losing his memories. By using Gary's Minorizer 3000, players were able to go into Rockhopper's mind and save his memories. There were a ton of free items. A few of them included the Memory Bag, the Joyful, the Sadness, and Riley's Hockey Stick. The party came to a close on August 5th for the desktop version of the game, and August 19th for mobile users. Next came the Fashion Festival. During the party, challenges would be given to players such as Everything Squid or Prehistoric Prom. They would then have to make their best outfit pertaining to that theme. Whichever penguin got the most likes would win in that category. This party also marked the first time that Dot was a meetable mascot. By meeting her, penguins could get her giveaway. They could also get the Fashion Festival giveaway. This would be the last party for the German and Russian languages. The party started on August 26th and went until September 16th. Once the fashion festival was over, the Descendants Party began. It started on September 16th and ended on September 30th. It was pretty underwhelming, actually. There were only 3 decorated rooms, and while there were a decent amount of items, most of them were for members. Some of these included Mal's spellbook, the magic hand mirror, the trophy, and the fairy godmother's wand. A mini party was celebrated alongside the Descendants Party, and that was Talk Like a Pirate Day. It started on September 16th, and the only decorated room was the beach. There was just one item being given out, and that was the pirate bandana. The event ended on September 23rd. Next came one of the most anticipated parties of the year, as well as one of the most special in all of Club Penguin's history. The party I'm talking about, of course, is the 10th anniversary party. It started on September 30th, the first anniversary party to do so. Almost all of the rooms in Club Penguin were decorated. The decorations were different than you might expect, though. Each room had a design from a previous party. For example, the ice rink looked like the ice rink from the 2005 holiday party. Each day, a new item was being given out, all of which were available for members and non-members. Some included the springy Santa hat, the inflatable duck, the blue lei, the swirly glasses, and of course, the 10th anniversary hat. Almost all of the mascots were mutable during the party, and if you were able to meet them, then you could get their background. The party eventually came to a close on October 21st, making it the first anniversary party not to take place during the game's actual anniversary day. Actually, the amazing 10th anniversary party came with another awesome party, and that was the Halloween party. Like last year's Halloween party, there was quite the story. During the 3rd week of the anniversary party, the mask bots, which are robots that looked like the mascots who gave out information about each decorated room, were starting to go haywire and causing havoc. By using objects that each mask bot was afraid of, penguins were able to shut them down. It was later revealed that Herbert was behind the malfunctioning robots. Penguins tried to stop him, but he escaped. Besides the new story, many of the same decorations appeared, as well as the ghost puffles from last year. As time went on, new items were unlocked, which players could then collect. Some of them included the decaf coffee, the Arctic bot, the pink flamingo, and the DJ bot. The party began on October 21st and went until November 4th. A mini party followed the last 2 huge parties, and that was the Mustache Madness event. The only decorations to be seen were at the forest, where penguins could buy 5 different kinds of mustaches for 50 coins each. They were the thin mustache, the western mustache, the teacher mustache, the artist mustache, and the curly mustache. The party started on November 4th and went until the 10th. Another mini-event followed the Mustache Madness party, and that was the Extreme Paint Festival. It started on November 10th and was a cover-up for the upcoming Operation Crustacean. The only decorated room was the dock, in which penguins could throw paintballs instead of snowballs. The decorations eventually changed once Operation Crustacean began. There were no free items being given away, and the event ended on December 16th. Like the 10th year anniversary party, Operation Crustacean was also highly anticipated for. It was the first EPF operation in quite a while, and it finally started on November 18th. While there was a story here, it wasn't as detailed as previous operations. After the Halloween party, a UFO was sighted, and penguins started to get abducted by aliens. Soon after, Klutzy went missing. As EPF agents investigate, they eventually find the UFO and board it, with Herbert, as he asked the agents to help him find Klutzy, and they agreed. While in the UFO, Klutzy is seen with the new alien puffles. Herbert then steals the UFO's power source, a purple meteorite, and he and Klutzy run away by using one of the escape pods. Because the UFO doesn't have any source of power, the alien puffles settle it on the dock. Gary eventually finds a substitute power, that being in power fragments. The only way to get them, though, was to travel back in time by using the time checker, which was done during the 2016 prehistoric party. Most of the items were attainable by doing certain tasks on the UFO. Some of them included the EPF space helmet, the backup power, the emergency thrusters, and the gamma shields. The party was originally set to end on December 2nd, but as you can probably already tell, it was carried over into 2016, finally ending on February 3rd, lasting for 78 days. And last but certainly not least was the holiday party. Yep, Club Penguin scrapped the whole Merry Walrus idea, mostly due to the fact that players did not like it. However, Merry Walrus himself still appeared on December 25th, giving out the deluxe gingerbread igloo. The party began on December 16th, and Rockhopper, along with coins for change, returned. At the party, penguins could collect the green Jolly Roger, the blue light bulb, the yellow light bulb, and the pink light bulb. The party didn't end in 2015. Instead, it crossed over into 2016, ending on January 6th. And that was 2015. It sure had a lot of parties and events, even more than 2014. When comparing the 2 years, I'd have to say that they're about the same quality-wise. The parties weren't awful, but they also weren't that amazing. So now we just have one more year, 2016. Right now, penguins had a good taste in their mouths from the last 2 parties of 2015. So could Club Penguin use that success and make 2016 an even better year? Well, let's wrap this thing up and find out. Can you guess what started off the year? That's right, it was the New Year's Day celebration. It actually began in the previous year on December 29th and went until January 6th. Fireworks were visible from the ski hill and iceberg. The one new addition though was the dance floor added to each room. With that small event out of the way, the real parties began. The first was the prehistoric party. Like I mentioned before, the party was a continuation of Operation Crustacean's plot. Penguins needed to travel back in time and find the power fragments to fuel the UFO. Besides the plot, nothing was new about this party. All the decorations were the same, and once again, penguins could adopt the dinosaur puffles. There were a good amount of items though. Some included the rock hard hat, the prehistoric beta hat, the dino horns, and the dino leather shield. The party began on January 20th and went till February 3rd. Surprisingly, a new operation followed the previous party. The event was first known as Operation Doom, but was later called Operation Triumph. It started on February 10th and was first teased about on January 13th. During the event, Herbert attempted to blast the island rooms, shrink the island, and decolorize it by using the UFO's power source. Penguins could enter the cave maze for the second time and put an end to his evil plans. Some of the items that could be collected included the Beat Dropper outfit, the Dance Battle cap, the gray hoodie, and the Spot of Tea. The operation came to an end on March 2nd. A couple of weeks later, and Penguins were celebrating the Puffle Party. During the event, players could play hide and seek with the Puffle creatures in order to earn items. Some of those items were the Red Berry pin, the Blue Puffle balloon, the Raccoon Puffle cap, and the Rainbow Puffle slippers. All the decorations were the same from previous years, however. The party started on March 16th and ended on April 20th, but on the mobile version of the game, it ended on May 19th. Once that was all over with, the Wilderness Expedition began. Here, players could venture out into the wilderness and find the Sasquatch Village. It was a pretty small party, as there were only a few rooms decorated, and not too many items being given out. A few of them included the Sasquatch outfit, the wilderness tent, and the wooden guitar. The expedition started on April 20th and went until May 4th. And then came the long chain of takeovers. The first one was the Zootopia party. It began on May 18th and went until July 6th. Now, if you've been watching my past few videos, then you know I was not a big fan of this party. For one, there were only 8 decorated rooms. There were also no tasks or missions to do. There were items available, but they were all for members. Some of them include the Nick Wilde mask, the Nick Wilde costume, the Judy Hopps mask, and the Judy Hopps costume. Next came the Finding Dory takeover. It started on July 6th and ended on August 17th. It was a bit shorter than the Zootopia party, but it was still pretty long. At the party, penguins can collect the Nemo costume, the Dory costume, the Finding Dory pin, and the Finding Dory background. Penguins get these by completing certain tasks, unlike the Zootopia party. Also unlike the Zootopia party, their items are non-members too. The big flaw to the whole event though was the lack of decorated rooms, only 6 in total. And then came the Frozen Fever party. Oh my goodness. Who at Club Penguin headquarters thought this was a good idea? It was identical to the Frozen Fever party from 2015. There's absolutely no change. It began on August 17th and is going to end on September 28th. And those are all the parties that have been celebrated in 2016 so far. We do know how the rest of the year is going to play out though. After the Frozen Fever party comes the Halloween party, along with the 11th anniversary party, then the Music Jam, and finally the Holiday party. While we don't know for sure, I think it's pretty safe to assume that those parties are all going to be pretty fun. Even with that in mind though, this year has been a disaster. While takeovers don't have a good reputation of being fun, the ones this year have been some of the worst in the game's history. Even some of the original parties have been pretty lackluster. I know you could say that the team is focusing their efforts on Project Super Secret, but still, I don't see why the team could have put in a little more effort. Let's just hope that Project Super Secret is worth the wait. Thank you guys for watching the Season 5 finale and last episode of Club Penguin 101. And I really mean that, thank you. If you enjoyed this video, then you can click that thumbs up button, and while you're at it, why not leave a comment telling me your favorite episode of CP101? I'd love to hear it. You can click here to check out the previous episode, in which we looked at the year 2013. But, until next time, beef it up.